Okay, have I ever told you that in fourth grade I made a cult with this child, which is now currently my best friend because we were bullying this other child, which we'll call the Gnome King. The Gnome King was this petite, frail little boy, and me and my friend were bullying him in class, and we called him, haha, you're the Gnome King. And the Gnome King looked up at us and said, I am the Gnome King. And we saw like and we saw this sparkle in his eyes which we'd never seen before, and it was glorious. And so from that day on, we started the Gnome Kingdom, which is really just a cult. And every day at break, we would we would crawl on our we would crawl throughout school to make ourselves shorter in honor of the Gnome King, and we would grab these poor children by the ankles and drag them under tables. We try to convert them into the gnomes, but then we have a rival. The tallest kid in our class didn't like that we were getting so much attention because so many people just love the Gnome Kingdom. And so he grabbed us aside and said, hey, I'm gonna make my own kingdom. I'm gonna make the tall person kingdom, the giant's kingdom. And he riled up all the other tall kids because he thought they deserved better. And so we had two cults. The tall giant kids and the small gnome kids. The Gnome King hated this, so we would beat these other way bigger middle schoolers on on break. So much so that one of us got sent to detention because it was getting out of hand. But one day, while we were planning on taking over the giant person kingdom, I have no idea what they called them. But I have no idea what they called themselves. Uh, horrible news came to us. We like had three people left in our kingdom because like they were getting beaten up on like break, and nobody likes getting beaten up on break. And so like we just had three people, me, my friend, and this kid we bullied for like half the year. And we were really sad, you know. We were really sad because our kingdom was shrinking. And then I got kicked out. I got kicked out of the Gnome Kingdom because I threw paint on him, and he said, well, shit, buckaroo, I don't like you anymore. You threw paint on my favorite shirt. And so I got kicked out of the Gnome Kingdom. And I was really upset. I was so sad, dude. I was really sad. I was no longer a gnome. But it was like, fuck you, I'm gonna make my own kingdom. And so, like, I got all these other... because all the boys had already, like, went into each kingdom. So I got the girls. And it was like, girls, girls, help me out here. You know, I'm such a ladies' man. And they were like, sure. And then they chose to make the beehive, which is honestly 10 times cooler. And so we got this girl that the Gnome King liked, and we used her to spy on him and his plans. But like, wait, yeah, but like, um, okay, so basically, so basically, we just make like fake dates for them, and like she would talk to him and stuff, and he'd be like, "Oh hi," and she would just like get information out of the Gnome Kingdom, like, and then we like assaulted that. I don't know. It never went anywhere because there were all girls, and when I told them we should like beat that kid up, they were like, "No, guys, don't do that. Don't do that. He's a poor little child, bro. He kicked me out of the cult. I wanted that kid dead." Yeah, but like, yeah, you know, and then he left the next year, and I was really sad. Gnome Kingdom failed, and my other friend also left the year, and so I was alone. I was alone without them, and the Bee Kingdom fell, and there were no more kingdoms, and the white trashy tall boys screamed and laughed in victory, for they were the only ones standing, and I was so angry and enraged. I hated it. I hated it with my guts that they were so powerful now, so much more powerful than me. Yeah, but this was on like fourth grade. I was like, I don't remember how old was I in fourth grade. I don't know, like 10, 9-ish, I guess. I don't remember how old are people in fourth grade. I know in America it's probably like 16 because you guys are like so dumb. You know, you get held back a few years, but that's fine. You know, we love our American dummies. I love American dummies. They're so funny. Yeah, but no, Gnome King was no more. Gnome King was no more. Yeah. We are Charlie Kirk, we carry the flame, we fight for the gospel, we honor his